The next one is Jack Jenkins taking on Don Shainis. This is his UFC debut. For Jack Jenkins, he come off that massive Dana White's Contender Series win, where he just kind of dominated with his wrestling and grappling with a lot of ground and pounds. He ended up getting it done in the third round. Freddie Linares bled literally everywhere. Jack Jenkins was able to open up a massive cut on him, and it was game over for Freddie, really. But he is a good kickboxer himself, and I think that this fight takes place on the feet, and I do think that he's going to be able to out-kickbox Don Shainis, and even if he wanted to take it to the ground, I think he probably could, but I do think Jack Jenkins' best way to winning was probably just with the kickboxing. Don Shainis, he's kind of like a brawler striker. I don't really know how to describe his style. Apart from that, he is going for the KO in the first round. He does have very brutal ground and pound himself as well. And he was on a pretty good first round KO streak before he did take on Sadiq Yusuff. And he just had a really bad showing, not going to lie, like it was Sadiq Yusuff though, who was one of the better featherweights in the world, to be fair. And a tough guy to make your debut against, especially at short notice. But he does have that win over Chris Lencioni, which is continuing to age well, because Chris Lencioni is a very good fighter. He's got a win over Jay Ellis, who might be one of the greatest fighters of all time, so you do have to give him that respect. He beat Cody Fistler, who's a former UFC fighter. But yeah, apart from that, dude, I just think that Jack Jenkins is going to be able to beat him like almost everywhere. I like his kickboxing in the matchup. I also kind of like his wrestling as well. Don Shainis does have pretty good wrestling and grappling, good ground and pounds, as I said. But I do think Jack Jenkins is probably going to just keep this fight on the feet for the most part. And I think he is going to win by decision or late TKO. It seems like a lot of people going with a knockout, which he did get in the third round against Freddie Emiliano Linares. But, you know, that fight could have gone the distance as well. You know, Freddie was beaten up really bad. But maybe if Jack Jenkins wasn't as aggressive with the ground and pound, he could have got a decision in that one. But I think Jack Jenkins gets it done over Don Shainis. We haven't seen too much of Don Shainis striking in the UFC because he kind of just ended up in the clinch against Sadiq Yusuff, got Big Brother, and then guillotined in 30 seconds. It was not a good look. I'm going with Jack Jenkins by decision or late KO, but I think Jack Jenkins wins a decision, to be fair.